Reed's last words. I'm bringing all of my laptops, which includes Kyle Reed's laptop.
Right.
I have 3 of them.
Yep.
And then I'm bringing 50 feet of rope and a lighter.
All right. Sometimes that's what you need.
That's right.
Nona the firebug comes again.
Well, it's also for Claire, too. She gets emotional restoration by setting things on fire. I've seen it.
Emotional support fire.
I see. Yes.
This is her emotional support fire.
Right, because
she's burning her village
lit her
down.
childhood home on fire.
Yeah. So by my understanding,
it helps heal.
That's right. And also, we did let her use the gun to destroy Tara's.
Yes, and she enjoyed it a little bit too much.
That's right. So we're coming to the conclusion, obviously.
Yeah. So cool. All right. Frick, we were talking about things and we were recording that whole time.
That's
Do we
all
want to talk about any other cool
podcast
things?
No.
We talk about things.
You've been recording this whole thing?
Things
Yeah,
with
sure.
just where we're putting things.
I'm once again having that thing where like somebody asks you what you want for your birthday and you're like, I've never wanted a single thing in my entire life.
It feels as you grow older, harder and harder to pick things that you want as like a birthday or Christmas gift because you have the capability of getting things for yourself.
Actually, I've also got a theory I want to run past you.
All right.
There is a huge swath of this market that has just been removed, which is, I was thinking back on it for the entirety of high school and college. I loved getting Best Buy gift cards to go purchase movies and TV shows and video games that I did not yet have. And now there's a thing where like you can download those and yes, it costs money, but the only way somebody can like kind of gift one to you is like, they're like, here's $10, go buy this on this streaming service or whatever. It's not a gift anymore. So the entirety of the entertainment medium has been taken off the table for gifts. And that's hugely problematic for me, who is not good at gift giving.
Well, for me, board games are always going to be a physical thing. And so,
Yeah, we tried that. And then I got all the ones you already had because those ones hadn't been destroyed enough by the flood, apparently.
Yes. Many a board game was lost in the flood, but we have obtained them. Although the ones that you bought for me
did not
survived
get hit by
the flood.
Well, now they're mine. So
there you go.
That was
And they're
also
all
part
good
of the
ones.
plan. Yeah. I bought the ones where I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Noel said this got destroyed, and then it didn't. So I'm like, I could keep this. That was the qualification: is if Jeff already has it, can I keep it? And yes.
And welcome back to the Seventh Star of the Right. Now you know of my dark history where I had to deal with a flood that killed a lot of my board games
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he killed some sword
a lot
thieves.
a lot of
Nothing
other things
actually
about
died.
Didn't it kill a car?
It didn't. Yeah,
It killed the car.
It
You know,
killed the
actually,
car.
that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. It killed a car. We got reimbursed for it through insurance, but yes, it did kill a car. Long live that RAV4. The RAV4 is dead. Long live the RAV4. Anyway, yeah, this is the 7 Star of the Right podcast. I can't remember if I said that. This is session 91. How you guys doing?
Fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're good.
Excellent.
Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Cool. Ever since that one time, we're
starting to do
remembering
this
now.
over now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Had a run this morning. I'm feeling ready to go.
Nice.
I'm not even having caffeine. This is all just water right here.
So runner's high, baby.
I've never
No.
gotten that.
Still haven't gotten that.
I run. I hate running. Every single moment I'm running, I hate it. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, frick, look how fast I ran. That's kind of cool. So I think that's like the second level of fun.
Mhm.
Like there's one where it's fun while you're doing it. There's one where it's like fun afterwards. You look back
There's
on
like
it.
a
falling.
sense of accomplishment.
That's right.
Yeah. Right now, I run, and about halfway through running, I'm like, I am in pain. And then when I finish it, I'm like, I am in pain and I can't breathe, but I did a thing today. So you know what? I'm going to count that as a win. What do you guys remember from last session?
You know,
It was a double one.
stuff that happened.
It literally only happened a week ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
You got it.
Yeah.
Somebody else want to take
Yeah,
a
go
crack
ahead,
at this?
Yeah.
Go
So,
ahead, Jeff.
all right. Take it away, Jeff.
Crossover jokes. Love it.
Let's see. Yeah. Gosh, what happened on which one? So we started last one on Orisiame.
No.
No.
Crap. All right.
Started coming out of metadimensional space.
Yeah, that's it.
And then pretty quickly thereafter ended up in the prophecy vision dream, which took us a long while. I have not finished editing. I tried so hard to finish editing both of these episodes in this week of time. I did not quite make it.
That one's special because it's got to have the extra filter on it for Claire.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does need that.
I just saw. All right, let's just move on.
Certainly not something
We forgot
that
that, but I got that
forgot
far. I got that far. Anyway, there was a vision and a prophecy.
Yeah, vision stuff. Yeah, before that, we got a message from Isis about how we're going to try and meet up with my old group.
Yep.
Then, prophecy happened. We saw a little flashback to a not so great memory from Micah's past. Got a little look at her family. Yeah. Do we want to run through the prophecy one more time?
Sure.
You guys
can promptly forget it.
Dude, this one is not actionable. I am sorry.
We don't have
but it's
to.
like
I
the
just
gears
kind of
are spinning in a direction to the final switch. The end is near. Jeff swears this is not the end of the campaign, but I'm getting end of the campaign
Sometimes
vibes.
the end of the planet does not mean the end of the universe.
Dude, spoilers.
Anyway.
Orsiame is going to die.
I think Mauricio is going to die. Just
But I
between
live
Kirsten. Not anymore, buddy. Because the plan is like fluctuating and all that stuff. That's like it's a whole
going
thing.
to come apart at the seams.
Anyway,
Just a little
sorry.
bit.
Go for
The
it.
abyss looms over the rock of two faces, one fed by lies and greed, the other by strife and self-righteousness. His servants have done their part. The machine is whirring, reeking of death and division. Pawns kill and plot, struggle and squirm, bringing the gears ever closer to the final switch. The work is done. The scene is set. The end is near. The yawning maw stirs.
Okay, so before we jump into us being characters, I know we have more to recap here, but I'm just gonna actually no, I'll let us get there first. What do we do next?
Okay. So
Micah had a moment.
That's right.
Yeah. We had a little chat after all of that. But essentially, we went down to Orsiame, to the Calvin estate, met up with some people there. It seems like there's been kind of a gathering of various folks that we knew on the planet in advance of all of this plan with the McRaven and the chancellorship and all that jazz.
So Lynn and Roscoe live there, and
Lynn and
Roscoe has
Roscoe
a
among them.
very interesting tattoo.
Yes, he has a gear that has two pickaxes behind it.
Yeah.
What, Minecraft? What?
No. Sorry. The prophecy, the gears spin ever closer to the final switch.
Sure.
I've got theories, people.
Yeah, so those folks were there. It's been a minute. We reconnected with our favorite sailor in all the planets, Captain Dusty Smokey.
Captain Dusty Smokey. I get to do his voice so much today.
Oh, God.
Get excited.
So we're getting smuggled in barrels. And kind of one of the last things we did was we wanted to check in with Jordan Donahue and Dorian Gray
Simultaneously
on
reason.
some suspicion that they might be a member of the Travelers that we read about back in the Novavoxus library.
Neo Opus.
Neo Opus.
Novavoxus is on Fistos.
Right,
Neo
you are.
Opus is on Deimos.
Other one. Neo Opus.
You got it.
New Work City.
New Work City, center of the universe. There we go. Done. Go.
There you go.
Yeah, and they did not pick up the phone at the right time or at the same time. One went to voicemail. It was very, very smooth, I'm sure, as far as they were concerned in handling that. But yeah, so we're going to meet up with at least one of them when we get to our destination, which is somewhere undisclosed on Ostea. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I think Dorian Gray said that they were with your people or had been a part of the resistance. And Jordan Donahue just said, oh, yeah, I'm
elsewhere.
around, but I'm not
I'm
in Jade
Jade.
right now. I'm a little busy. I'll catch up with you guys when you get the
Anyway,
chance.
give all of that information I wanted, that super top secret information I wanted. You can just give it to my good pal, Dorian Gray.
They're
That's just
so-
fine.
Dorian Gray
It's
introduced you to
trustworthy.
Jordan Donahue.
Trustworthy. Again, they share a journal.
They do.
No
Best
secrets.
friends.
No secrets.
No secrets between them.
History called them the best of friends.
Oh, no.
I'm adding another layer to it.
Yeah, so that happened. There was a talk of hitting up the Ellison research base that is on the outskirts of Principa after quote
so
unquote
if we don't die,
overthrowing the government.
That's
was
right.
Like in air quotes.
So basically, Nona has decided rather guiltily to like not power Terra back on until after we have more of a plan about what to do with regards to making her not want to kill everybody. We don't really have a plan, and it's not really time to come up with the plan right now. But after whatever goes on here and we all die and the planet explodes, after that, we will be going to a location on this planet to maybe go pick up Dr. Samantha Calvin's mind seed to preserve optionality.
Yes.
We don't know what we're going to do with that yet. I have thoughts.
Other side quests include, you guys left a message for Eriko Watanabe in her little space mailbox. Pretty quickly thereafter, it was downloaded. There was a response. And so you guys have then given a compad number. I can't remember which one. It's your compad number. And are expecting a call from her at some point in time. You also let her know that you're on Orisiame so she can travel and then talk to you directly.
That's right.
Yeah. So that is everything that happened. One thing that we did off air, which was, it seems like you guys won't be nearby your starship because it'll be in a completely different continent. And so there might be some things that you guys want to bring. I know you have already picked out some things that you are also putting into barrels.
Yeah, you basically
Captain
gave
Dusty
us permission to take more than our carry weight of stuff because we are moving to, I'm guessing, something roughly like a mobile base. Like this is a location that we will be going to that we can then dump stuff at with relative safety, hopefully.
Like a
There's
hotel.
friends over there. Exactly.
You're picking up your...
Do you not call hotels mobile bases?
No.
Oh, you're missing out.
Okay.
Anyway.
I just left the mobile base.
That's right.
I'm meeting you up at dinner. And so we don't have to go through everything that you guys are bringing, but do you want to just give like a high level view of like what is being brought that you guys aren't physically able to carry?
No vehicles, no robots except the Mobots, because those are specifically designed to be travelable.
Yep.
A lot of drugs, a lot of guns, a lot of laptops and other technology.
All right. Exciting. And so you ask, I find it funny that you go to Dr. Captain
Please, no.
Dusty Smokey.
I cannot live in a world where this man has
his
a doctorate of
PhD,
anything.
Captain Dusty Smokey, and you're like, oh, hold on, we got a few more things, and you just start dumping a bunch of these weapons that you found on Glazov 5 into the barrels. And he's like, wow, didn't know you guys were
Didn't know you were chill like that.
And then he pulls out his 20 guns.
Oh,
he carries on him at all times, also dumps them in a barrel.
Numbers filed off.
That's right. That's right.
No, I got my old trusty shotgun right here. And he goes like underneath like the panel and pulls out like a shotgun. It's like, never had to use it, but always good to have around.
Yeah, we got you. Don't worry. If shooting needs to happen, maybe we could do that.
No, I'm a good enough shot. I can shoot there's not really many things to shoot on this.
Right.
I can shoot a soup can from 50 yards away.
With a shotgun?
With a shotgun.
Oh, damn.
Actually.
Never mind. I know what we're doing on this boat ride. You're teaching me.
There's slug rounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they go a little bit farther than the buckshot.
They're live slugs. They put in the
They
barrels.
can't be. There's no eminence on
Peel them off the
Orisiame.
barnacles. Crap, that's true. Aw.
He raised them himself.
That's why I think Jeff was originally maybe going to go for a Star Wars joke, but then there's no equivalent to a swamp rat.
No, there's no swamp rats on Orisiame.
Or, sorry, womp rat. You're right.
Womp rats? Oh, no.
On Orisiame, there's just rocks.
Just rocks.
Just rocks.
And
with
maybe
two
eventually
faces,
plants.
apparently. And maybe eventually plants. And then maybe
Genuinely,
eventually.
no one should live here.
I know.
Settling
So
here
many of
was
these
the biggest
planets we
mistake.
go to is just like, why is anyone living here? We've had barren rock planet. We have had planet that is not barren, but literally tries to kill you. The air catches on fire. And we have had planet that was mostly okay, but now it's been overwarmed by swarms of nanites that will tear the flesh off of your bones before also consuming your bones.
Yeah, I think humans caused that last one.
That's
a
right.
little bit.
And yet people are still there. Like if you drop that particular beaker and stuff goes, maybe you just move, but apparently not.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people just kind of had to deal with the hand that they were given
Bye, Jeff.
by me,
Bye, Jeff.
an unloving god. And
You to the fire planet where everything is fire.
I mean, you say that, and there's another planet that is
Literally
just
a
absolutely
different planet.
irradiated.
Yeah, the
to the planet of-
irradiated many.
Irradiated many.
But like we feel like that. I've got theories that one might have already been like man caused too, because I think the irradiated many are upset about things and are either trying to
What?
sue
No.
or are trying to like straight up revolution at this point. But that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, so you guys are able to load up this boat. This boat it's a barge, right? It's not like one of the major ones that you would see in like the Chesapeake Bay or anything like that.
On
But-
Arisiame.
on Arisiame.
Space
They have that
Chesapeake
too.
Bay.
Jade. It's not any Jordan Donahue shipping barge.
Uh-huh,
Jordan Donahue's Playboy yacht.
Now you're speaking my language.
But it is still a fairly large boat. Definitely longer. It's a long, slender thing that has a lot of barrels kind of collected on the deck of it. You open up a few of these barrels, ones that Captain Dusty Smokey points at and say, like, nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. Don't open that one.
Okay.
And then, goes that through a handful of them. And so you're able to hide away. Are you going to open
What's
it?
in that one? When is that? I just want to take a little peek.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
No,
It's very. You remember last time
Doesn't
the
play nicely with
irradiated
human skeleton.
what? No, there's nothing dead in there. It's just if you open that and you don't have the proper protection, you could probably just get you just turn into cancer. Not like you get cancer, but the entirety of your body just it starts to be cancer.
And that's just in that barrel, just that wood barrel right there.
No,
It's
it's got the requisite lining, you see.
It says don't open. And the N is backwards.
Which one?
It's like painted on.
All right.
Well, all right.
You run a tight ship, Captain Dusty Smokey. Which barrel was that with again?
Oh, the don't open one.
Okay. This one also says don't open, but it looks like it's very empty.
Oh, that's just where I keep my sandwiches.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this one sandwiches.
Do these ever cause problems? You're trying to sneak past security checkpoints.
You see, I oftentimes start talking at them, and they just go, "You can move along, sir."
I see.
Same.
You know that makes a lot.
And
of
if you're
sense.
backed into a corner, you have a sacred weapon.
My shotgun.
Well, no. Okay, yeah.
Cancer, haha.
Cancer barrel. So,
I
really
hate that
quick,
level of Donkey
are we
Kong.
gonna kill Roscoe before we leave, or are we just gonna
Is this
just
no
go
action?
for it? No, I wanted like maybe a little bit more serious of a huddle, but I do think Nona will call attention to the fact that there was a prophecy that mentioned gears, and then we immediately met an individual with a gear tattoo on where?
His
Well, I was picturing chest too, but then
Right on his ass.
that is
shirtless, hairless chest. No,
It's
on
only
his-
around the gear that it's shirtless.
He cut it out like an
cuts a
Iron
big-
Man thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, every time I put on a shirt, it just bursts.
It's on his right arm
Okay.
near his shoulder.
I will literally just like take a moment, pull people aside, and point that out.
So, I mean, okay, interesting call out. Do you think Roscoe's like a spy?
Not necessarily. I believe he might unintentionally cause. The whole thing with the prophecies is stuff happens, and we don't really know why or what or how or any of those useful information things. But
I'm sorry.
no, this is Claire. No
No,
problem. No problem.
You should be.
But
Here, have some cancer. It'll make you feel better.
oh
no.
I take it
Ow,
back.
my soul. Anyway, I don't think he is a bad person, but in the same way that like an individual gear in a machine is not bad for doing its job, it can lead to some very bad outcomes if the wrong people put it in the wrong place and it is left unattended.
Is Roscoe around?
He met you guys when you landed, but you've probably taken a moment to kind of collect yourselves and coordinate with Captain Dusty Smokey. He's no longer around right now. Like he's not in earshot. You can't see him, but you could probably seek him out. He probably hasn't gone too far.
Okay. I don't know, man. Like, we can't just go around and killing everything that's mentioned in the prophecy, or else at least two of us would be dead.
Fair point.
Yeah, so I feel like we're in a little bit of a rush now. If anything, we could ask, like, what's the deal with that tattoo? Like, is it just cool? Is it part of like a group? What's going on there?
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just real quick. All right. I'll get off the ship and see if I can try and flag him down somewhere, hoping he hasn't gone too far.
Yeah.
Can we say this happens while we're like loading up the barrel, kind of like sorting through our stuff?
Yeah.
We need
Yeah,
a
we're
break.
still getting
We
organized.
don't. Our upper body strength is not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Nona's upper body strength is always
Exactly what it used
to be. That was
and
exactly the
always
joke.
what it theoretically will be.
That's right. I know
Um,
we're gonna eventually seek out some upgrades and get swole.
Oh, nice.
That's
Excellent. But yeah, you're able to track down Roscoe. He seems to be busying himself with just some like generalized housework, repairing one of the various stone houses that it will have been constructed here. And he sees you guys approaching and says, kind of takes out a handkerchief and wipes his brow and says, "Yeah, what's going on, guys?"
Hey, Roscoe. We just had a quick question because we noticed that like super cool tattoo that you're rocking there. We're wondering, is there like a story behind that? We were just like, we were talking about it and we just wanted to know.
Oh, yeah. I'm a member of the Racemian Mining Corps.
Okay, all right.
We were a big part of, the tunnels and breeze and most construction projects. Honorary Siame, probably the biggest one. Big membership done on Ostea, Principal, all around the entire planet.
So, how many of you would you say there are? Dozens, hundreds?
Oh, thousands?
Okay,
It's a lot of gears.
Yeah,
that's a lot of gears.
There's different cores in all of the different continents. Honorary Siame, probably one in every major city, even some of the smaller ones too. You gotta, build somehow, and the Racemian Mining Corps is one of the few that knows how to do it properly.
Do they all have tattoos?
My group did, not all of them.
Huh. All right. Are there any big? You said they do like construction or just like mining stuff? Are there like big projects that are ongoing for that group?
I know they were doing a lot of work on Ostea, various networks trying to connect the various cities. So there was more than just waterways, but could actually be tunnels from city to city. Now, a lot of the cities have work done for them in regards to the tunnels below them. It's very difficult to build tall honorary Siame because of the wind, and the steep mountains tend to really cause the wind to catch up and really cause a lot of stress on tall buildings. So a lot of digging down, which is what their specialty is. But we can, as he kind of gestures towards the house that he's putting together, know a thing or two about constructing a sturdy piece of house work, building work.
Sick.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, thanks for telling us. We were just a little curious. So yeah.
No problem. No problem. Happy to help.
Nona is incredibly dejected at the thought of having to kill thousands of people. It's really going to eat into her week.
This is where you and Tara differ.
So when do we kill him now?
No,
we have to track it down.
Not him.
Yeah.
It's probably not him. It's probably different gear. It's fine. Just keep an eye out for switches.
So many cogs in the machine.
Nona looks around. Switches? No? Okay, we're good. Okay, great. We get on the boat.
Okay.
Yep, we can resume.
Give me a second.
Sorry for that.
Packing.
So you guys probably take close to an hour, maybe 30 minutes, somewhere in between there, to figure out the stuff that you want to take, put it on the ship, open the correct barrels as Captain Dusty Smokey points them out to you. There was a conversation that happened last session where he was like, I need someone up here to make it look like, a little bit more, on the level. And so he's like, you guys don't need to hang out in those barrels just yet. But once we hit land, there's periodic border control checkpoints that will stop us, or maybe they won't stop us. Sometimes they're not even manned. But once we start seeing land, that's gotta get, fit yourself in there, and you should be good to go. They have been, as he takes a time to ponder his words, more discerning as of late. So we might want to come up with a code word if you all need to hop out of them barrels and help us out of a little snafu.
Cool. Gotcha.
Is there any word in particular that is not oftentimes used in everyday conversation with you all that I can shout to communicate that you all should get out of them barrels and start lighting some folks up?
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch. I can do that.
I've always liked that word. I don't think I know what it means.
That's a fun word. It's a game.
Oh. The game where we kill people.
What?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's what it means now, right?
Mhm.
What?
Or no?
Oh, yeah.
How about the barrel and not kill people?
No. Well,
You got to do it on one leg.
you gotta be careful.
Oh.
Silence operatives don't particularly care for it when you take down one of their own, and so taking one down is the akin to kicking a wasp nest. You see, and
So let's be clear here. What does the code word mean?
it means hop out of them barrel because we're in hot water and we gotta kick a wasp's nest,
Okay.
probably.
Okay.
But if we can avoid it and just run, all the better.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
I actually think really fast before we depart too. I think Nona's gonna I wanna do one of those in case I die letters and give it to Lynn if that's all right.
Okie doke. I'm gonna let you figure out what the contents of that are later.
That's completely fine. It's basically just to trying to make sure Tara is not trapped forever. This gets back to Glazov 5. Do not open things. Talk to Quinn. She knows what's up.
Okay.
Because we've told her about Tara.
Okay. I mean, you could also say Dr. Leggett, but
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is there too. So
He's there too.
Same thing. He knows what's up. Just get it back to Glazov 5. Don't touch stuff. That's it.
fair enough. You're going to put up any of those danger signs similar to the ones that you found?
No, but I'm hoping security via obscurity. Don't tell anybody what's there and just hope they don't spot it.
Very fair.
And
very
just
fair.
a general don't touch my shit.
All right. So that is, you got a plan for Tara. Should you guys die, you have loaded up the ship. You've talked to Roscoe. Is there anything else that you guys want to do at the Kelvin estate before you head out? All right.
Go to the library and read every single book.
Okay.
What's in there, Trev?
All right. That takes you about a month. The McRaven is dead and the world ends.
You
Anyway.
promised it wouldn't! You bastard man!
Just the one? Just the one world?
Just the one world.
We're good.
Okay, we get on the boat.
You guys get on the boat, and Dusty Smokey comes up to you, Nona, and says, so you're going to be above deck, up here with me. That means you got to have papers. And he takes out this nondescript slip of paper almost, although it has a thickness to it. It's backed in some way, almost like an ID card, but completely blank. And he pulls out another slip of paper, but this one appears to be his ID. You can see Captain Dusty Smokey on it, and it has
Where's
like
Subtlety?
a picture. And what was that?
Subtlety. Does he have his middle name on it?
That's his legal name.
Captain.
Wait, no. Is Captain included on the ID?
Yeah, my name's Captain.
Gotcha.
Oh, I misread that. Okay.
So you're Captain.
His middle
because you're in
name is
charge-
Dusty.
No, his middle name is
His
Subtlety. He
second
told
middle
us
name is
last
Subtlety.
time.
I forgot it was Subtlety.
That's right.
It's actually a hyphenated last name, Subtlety Smokey.
Ooh, like a subtle smoke flavor.
Mm.
I like that.
Anyway, he
Barbecue last
takes
name.
out this ID card and he says, "Yeah, come over here." And he asks you to put your hands on the blank card. And as he kind of takes your hand on it and then presses his ID card to it,
Mhm.
you see it change. Colors start to form on it and letters start to form on it. And you realize that whatever is happening right now, that slip of paper is clearly some kind of highly technical device as opposed to just, a mundane piece of paper. And you see that almost perfectly it mirrors the intention of the ID card, but with a picture of you,
It works on me.
yes, in the center.
I love it.
And what's the name that pops up?
I was just about to ask you.
No, this is something that comes from you.
Oh, in
So-
that case, it would probably be either the fake last name that I was assigned by the Glazov 5 individuals or Hobbs.
Okay. I'll do Nona Hobbs.
Okay.
He says, "There are your papers. Dorian Gray gave me this piece of device. Really cool piece of kit. That's why you guys you have to be in the barrels because I only got one of them. And these IDs are expensive to come by. So anyway,
So,
I'm going to drive a boat now." And he
in the barrels for
leaves.
us. Great.
Okay, very cool.
Nona looks down at this incredibly cool piece of paper and once again marvels at how dope Dorian Gray is. That is all.
And so this is another trip that takes a while. You are traveling from one continent to another continent. In talking with Dusty Smokey, you learn that this particular trip would probably take about a day and a half. And so you guys set yourselves up for the long haul to some extent. But obviously we've done several traveling to Orisiame and now some more traveling. Is there anything else that you guys want to do before you reach Principa?
If I look around the ship, is there any way I can get a smaller barrel lid or another roundish piece of wood?
There's no wood
There's
on
no wood.
Orisiame.
Yeah,
What are the
barrels
barrels
are
made out
metal.
of? The barrels
They're
are
metal.
metal.
Yeah.
Do they have a metal a circular piece
Yeah.
of sheet metal or something like
Yeah,
that?
and there's definitely some barrels around that are just completely empty. They're secured, but the lid of them is loose.
Cool. I want to take one and start and grab some loose netting or ropes and stuff. Basically what I want to make is if I can get into a barrel and then hold this round thing in front of me, I want it to look like the barrel's actually full. So if I'm here like
Nice.
that with it above my head
Mhm.
inside the barrel, I want it to be ropes and netting
Okay.
so that it looks like it's full of ropes and netting, but it's really full of Alix,
I see what you're saying.
Like a fake top.
like a fake top.
Yeah.
Like a fake bottom or whatever.
Yeah, and it ideally would fit in the barrel itself, so the barrel could be topped, and then they open it, peek in, and see just the shit in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of different sized barrels. And so one of the ones that you're getting is one of the bigger ones. And so you could get a slightly smaller kind of circular lid, hold that above you and kind of put just a mess of things on top of it and kind of have that false lid if you'd like.
Yeah,
That's
Do
a great
you
idea. We
want
should
to
do that for
similar
everybody.
things
Yeah.
for everyone else as well?
yeah, I'll put together however many I can do.
Think,
I'd
yeah,
help with
Mike is
that.
going to say "Oh, I don't love that, but it's a really good idea, so we should use it." Even more of a cramped space. Hooray.
Yeah. No, it's pretty
Barely.
bad. If you can find I don't know, some kind of L brackets that we can maybe put in the inside of the barrel, command strip kind of idea, so that we don't actually have to hold it, that'd be even better. But I don't know if that's around either. But I'll get a couple of these lids together.
Yeah, this barge, it's a bit of a mess. It's got a bunch of junk on it, but you find a handful of, L brackets and stuff like that from the workshop that he has, that you're able to fashion, this makeshift fake top almost.
Make a house a home.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's a good plan. Yeah. Micah will help out with that, but also appreciate some of the fresh air back on planet. I know it's only been like a few weeks, I guess, since we were here, but especially if we're going in those barrels for a bit and having just come off the spaceship, it's nice to be out in the way too strong Orisiame winds and get some fresh air.
Yeah. Nona, is there anything in particular that you're doing
I'm
this time?
helping with other things.
Yeah. Kind of helping Alix fabricate some of this stuff. So the sun starts to set on Orisiame, and once more you can see the stars kind of come out. You guys have a makeshift dinner. Captain Dusty Smokey has a handful of rations that he hands out to folks, and some cold canned soup. And during the evening, Micah, probably one of the times as you're kind of taking in the fresh air, you hear a little coo next to you, and you find that Claire is standing next to you, looking over out towards the water. And she says, "So we're back here."
Yeah, sure are. I mean, sort of nice to be back. Tricky. How you doing, kid?
Good. Going to Principa, which I didn't know much about. Things at the time. They didn't really tell me where I was or where I was going, but pretty sure Principa was it after, looking back and reflection and stuff like that. And I don't particularly care for going back there, but your group, right? The group that you're with and the person that we're trying to save, you think there's something we can? And she kind of like deflates a little bit and says, "Can we stop them? The children."
Yeah. No, come on, Claire. Like, all of this, like, saving Vaughn obviously is like super important to me. A big part of that is that, like, he's got the vision. He never steered us wrong before. And like with him leading things and with like all of us working together, we can actually like stick it to them, make a difference. Absolutely. Like, there, no doubt. And yeah, like, I hear you. Like, of course it's scary going back there, but like, this is how we take that stuff back from them, all the shit that they put us through. Yeah. And I know you're going to love Vaughn. He's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what are you having like second thoughts about it all?
I've been with you guys for a little bit now. I haven't had to, like, attack a real person, one that wasn't already dead or disformed or like an animal, like doesn't have the ability to be reasoned with. Like, yeah, I've hurt some folks, but not necessarily like,
Yeah. I mean, look, these folks who we might need to be fighting, these are not good or innocent people. Like, I hear you. It's like, it's a step, but I think it's an important step that this is taking back from them stuff that they took from us, and they're definitely going to shoot first if they get the chance.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Rubber on the shoulder. It's like, you're going to do great.
Yeah. Okay. And she just kind of continues to stare out at the horizon.
Oh, actually, maybe. Well, I don't know. There's something that I've been working on trying to. I don't know if it's going to be ready in time for all of this stuff, but I've been working on this new, or it's not a new technique. I mean, like we heard about it like in theory in school, but I've been trying to figure out. And like Micah kind of extends a finger in like a finger gun kind of thing, of like focusing, doing this like high level telekinetic thing where I can like just kind of call a shot and just like blow a hole through like even like something that's like really thick. And I think if I can get it ready in time, that could really help us out. Here, check it out. And you'll see like a little bit of like energy warbling at the tip of her finger. And like, it's just obviously not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll show it off to her a little bit and be like, yeah, you know, it's something that I'm trying to work on. I don't know. Have you got anything else you're flexing with your abilities recently? Something that might help us out? I mean, you're always such a big help, so don't get me wrong, but anything you've been cooking on?
I mean, the big one that I was able to figure out was you know, the one that makes hits them with the mental kind of push.
Yeah, that was so good.
But yeah, no, it's sometimes frustrating not being able to talk to all of you and have to kind of focus on you each individually. It's something that I know is feasible, is kind of doing like a concert of minds where I act as a receiver that is able to kind of broadcast people's thoughts to other people, such that, you know, if Nona talks to me through her mind in real time, I could relay that to you, such that we were like on a group call all together, but in my mind.
Oh yeah, that would be super useful, especially if we're going to be doing some sneaking around.
It's I don't think it's not ready yet.
No, I hear you, but hey, it's good to always have something that you're pushing toward and striving to get better at. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think, I don't know. I don't know if all silence operatives are bad people, if they're like, you know, going out and doing something, you know, like they don't necessarily, maybe they just want to try and do their best, you know, keep the peace, and they're not necessarily hating psychics.
And you can kind of see that she is maybe trying to inch towards that memory that was broadcast to everyone else by the dream.
Yeah. And I will address it and say, hey, so look, I know that you and the rest kind of saw that little dream of mine before. Yeah, my sister, as maybe you didn't see it in the moment, but yeah, she works with the Children of the Silence. And I mean, look, does that bum me out? Obviously. But look, I mean, when you're out there and like we're fighting for our lives and freedom, like can you afford to worry about that? Like, look, I'll be honest with you. If we saw Sky out there, that would be really hard for me. But I mean, we've got to do what we've got to do. I know we're on the right side here, and I don't know. I think getting tied up in knots about that is only going to create more problems for us.
Yeah. Okay. We have to, the goal that we're going for is worthy of the costs that might be spent.
Yeah. It's not always pretty, but it is right.
You can see that she's still kind of turning this over in her head. You haven't necessarily completely quelled all of her worries, but she definitely seems to be a little bit more at peace than what she was. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk with her about, or the conversation to continue? Otherwise, she would just kind of continue to look off into the distance.
I think that I might try and divert the conversation to a little bit more of a chill reminiscence kind of place. Are we like on the open water? Can we see some mountains around? I might want to like try and go back like, oh, did you guys ever like, I don't know, go like cliff jumping or, you know, that kind of thing?
Yeah. And you're able to steer the conversation. It seems like it's one that she doesn't want to be kind of locked into that conversation much longer than she already was. And you guys start conversing about other topics, happier topics. She shares an anecdote of her first cliff jump, and it was a lot smaller than the ones that the adults were going off of. Only one that was really like 10 feet off the water itself. But she was reminiscing like how her mom taught her to swim and stuff like that. And yeah. Kirsten, you're making a face.
I just had a recollection of, does Claire know how to swim? I thought we had a thing. Somebody in our group, I feel like, doesn't know how to swim.
Was it
Claire's
Alix?
afraid of heights.
Claire is afraid of heights.
That's all. Never mind.
Because I know I'm afraid of heights.
That's right.
And that's how I remember. I can't remember who doesn't, or
It doesn't matter.
maybe Claire doesn't know how to swim and I'm retconning.
Don't worry. I'm being a gnome, actually. Ignore me.
Yeah. And so you guys are able to steer away from the conversation of kind of where you're intending to go. Night turns into day. You all who need to sleep do, although I think, Nona, you would probably pretend to sleep. And midway through the second day, you guys start to see these little peaks out in the distance until they get closer and closer. And you actually notice that they start to reach around you. You're appears to be in some kind of bay where it kind of surrounds the water itself. And you keep traveling probably another 15, 20 minutes as you start to aim for one particular break in the land mass, heading towards a larger river than all the other tributaries that you see kind of dotting out into the bay.
Silly question for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Did we have internet on the boat?
Yes.
Okay. I've spent the time I should have been sleeping, so about 8 hours, researching my fake backstory.
I see.
Doing that thing that I do where I'm like, I will have all of the information about what is supposed to be in these barrels. I will have all of the information about roughly what it is I am supposed to be doing with these barrels, and specifically focusing on things that I can get really detailed into to kind of provide that I start talking and people zone out thing.
Sounds good.
Cool.
What exactly is the backstory that you're coming up with?
Well, he told me I was mostly in charge of carrying barrels.
I see.
Right? But I think we've traveled with this man twice. We know roughly what he is supposed to be transporting. Besides, cancer.
Radioactive.
What is its purpose?
Materials.
Are we getting rid of waste? Are we doing these sorts of things? What different kinds of radioactive waste are there? What kinds of barrels are there? What is this barrel rated for? Like, just stupid. So not like Nona came up with a creative backstory for herself. Nona knows the backstories of each and every one of these barrels now.
Yes, of course.
So you're just ready to throw out like a string of jargon.
That's right, because it worked really well that first time.
This dent here, I dropped it back about a month ago or so, and oh boy, did that cause an alarm at the such and such station, because you see like the safety precautions and
at the time were this, and they hadn't updated them based on quiz. That was back before that one meltdown disaster happened, and so people were a lot more relaxed. Yeah, exactly that.
Just the classic Nona of just, I'm going to spit as much information at you so you want to go away from me.
If you don't want me to keep doing it, stop having it work.
All right.
As we go into this.
Is that a challenge?
No, just let me have this. Please, I spent all night researching barrels.
And as you head into this large river, Captain Dusty Smokey will start calling down to you guys. It's like, all right, it's time for the barrel. Hopefully it shouldn't be too long. About another couple of hours from here, but there could be a stop anywhere along this channel.
Yeah, all right. In we go.
Okay.
Woo.
Just if you are going to remove the false lid, knock first, or else I might shoot you. So just
All right, yeah, I'll knock.
yeah,
first.
knock on the side of the barrel. Yeah,
You should be able to hear me though, right?
yeah, probably.
Because
but-
if I say hopscotch, that
Then
the
you
word,
come out.
you got to come out too.
Well, we'll see. But
All right.
if it's not at that point and they're just kind of opening the barrel, then it might be fine. They might begin and be like, oh, this is all netting and rope, and we don't need the hopscotch.
Yes, maybe just give it a little
That's
kick.
it too.
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah,
give it a little-
hopscotch.
give it a little-
Hopscotch comes at the very end if we need it.
It's more like somebody's opening the barrel, and then they find the false lid and they move it. I might end up
Shoot
shooting
them.
them.
Well, I won't be the one to remove
Yeah,
the
so-
false lid.
There you
Then.
go.
Okay, yeah, just knock.
All right. Sounds like we got a plan then. In the barrels.
There we go.
This man has already forgotten the plan, hasn't he?
And so
Hopscotch. That's
That's all we got.
always the plan.
hopscotch, hopskitch, hop,
Isn't that,
Hop,
isn't that
skip.
a fun one?
hop, skip, and a
Hop,
jump.
skip, and a jump.
I stole it
is-
from Corpse Bride.
Oh, fun. And so Alix, Micah, and Claire all find some barrels to hide themselves in. And Nona, he directs you to okay, now here's how you kind of want to be. Generally just kind of patrolling around the boat and whatnot. And
I've started giving him tips on better ways to secure radioactive waste.
oh yeah, because he absolutely does not follow
I'm
standard
well, technically,
protocol.
those two should not be next to each other because of their various ratings.
Oh yeah, I know, but I know the different ratings, so it's completely fine. That one turned a little torque. And so you guys travel for a little bit, and sure enough, Nona, since you're the only one who can kind of visibly see right now, you see a vehicle parked on a fairly flat part of the river, of the bank of the river. And you notice that there is a tether that is kind of pulled across the river, probably hundreds of feet long from one bank all the way to the other, almost like a large net. And there's a vehicle on one side with a large disc that kind of points out, almost like, a spy van or something like that, clearly communicating with other places nearby. And he says, all right, you got your cover story all right? And so he starts to slow the boat down a little bit as you all approach this net until stopping right before it. It does kind of require him to pull off to the bank a little bit so the river doesn't constantly push you guys back. And there is a silence operative, someone dressed all in this black uniform, head to toe, with this armor that is kind of definitely over top of the chest. And they come up to Captain Dusty Smokey and says, "Can I get papers and manifest, please?" And Captain Dusty Smokey says, "Oh, yeah, sure," and grabs your card and hands it over to him. And you notice, can I actually have you make a wisdom notice check or a charisma notice check? I know you're not good at either
I think
of
those
these.
are the same. I'm actually better at charisma.
Huh.
Yeah, I think I just decided I was endearing at some point, and then I just tossed a point in there. Oh, this is gonna be bad. That is a 6.
Okay.
I notice nothing. I see nothing.
You notice the only thing that you notice, you can't read anything from the silence operative's face. He is wearing a helmet, but it is not one that obscures his face. He has the visor pulled up, and you can't help but notice that he takes a little bit of a longer look at the manifest and the papers, really going over it. And he says, "I'm going to need a moment to run these by and just make sure they all check out." And Captain Dusty Smokey says, "Oh yeah, sure. Let me know if there's anything else. We got some sandwiches in a barrel over there."
Is there a problem?
And he looks over at you and says, "Oh, no, not at all. We just need to check on everyone going through this particular checkpoint. Make sure that no contraband gets through and that everyone's papers are in order. A little bit of extra scrutiny, and we can take the extra time since there's not much traffic here today. So if you don't mind."
Okay. I would like to get there eventually, but that's fine. Do your job.
And so he nods to both of you and walks off. And you take a look at the vehicle that he is walking towards, and you see there is a figure in the driver's seat. You can't quite make out, the windows themselves are tinted, but he goes up to them and starts talking into the car pretty quietly and hands over the papers. And you see a couple of extra silence operatives get out of the car, not the one that was in the driver's seat, but just ones that may have been around or obscured by the car itself. And you count probably a total of 5 in total, 4 that are outside of the car and 1 that is currently in the driver's seat. And Smokey kind of leans over next to you and says, "Normally they only got 2 at these particular checkpoints. So,
How far away are they? This is a Jeff question.
How far away are they?
Yeah. Can they hear me? If I talk?
No. You can't overhear them and they can't overhear you.
Okay.
You would expect.
I
And also
start
like the water kind of.
Describing the situation to the best of my ability, hoping that the friends in the barrels can hear.
Yeah, in fact, you could probably, Claire would have been like, "Yeah, I will keep like an active kind
Perfect.
of mind with you." And so if you want to shout hopscotch in your mind, that's probably
No.
not necessary.
Not yet.
Okay. And so
Just be aware of the situation that we're in, and I
this
will keep
is
informed as to where
also-
they are.
you get Micah and Alix, you get a little, "There's a bit of a slow up, not entirely sure what, more than normal. Be on alert."
Yeah.
All right.
What do you mean?
No, what do you mean?
I did describe the
Yeah.
situation exactly. Captain Dusty Smokey says there's normally 2 people. There are 5 people here right now. They appear to be doing extra scrutiny of our documents. Nothing has seemed hostile so far,
Mhm.
but we may need to do something soon.
That's fun.
Nona says more of them are getting out of the car. I don't like that.
5, yes.
It's another blockade, like the one at the mouth of the tunnel.
Do you think they're looking for you? They could be looking for me. They could be looking for any of us.
Well, they knew we were doing that jailbreak, so they probably might know about this stuff. So
Based on my knowledge of that, they did not get a good shot of my face, but they do have my name on record, and those do not currently match up.
okay,
So if they can match name to face and then also pursue that, that is going to be a problem. Well, could be, could not be.
And so I assume this was all communicated completely
That was
telepathically.
my intention, if that's all right.
And so Dusty Smokey has not heard any of this, and he leans over and says, "All right, so things go down. We need to go back. We need to continue on our way, which means we, 1, need to take care of that device there." And he nods over towards this net that kind of spreads across the entire thing. A couple of well-placed shots should do, but I also noticed that it's attached to some kind of device. I don't know if you or any of your friends are good at the hacking, but that might be a good thing to try and do. Secondarily speaking, if we do break and start going, we want to make sure they can't communicate with their friends. Otherwise, they're gonna just be,
You want
all
a
over.
jammer.
A jammer. Yeah, you got a jammer.
Oh, let me see.
All right.
I go into I have a lot of stuff. I probably don't have a ready-made jammer, but
Is it in one of these barrels because you were hiding it away?
I mean, I
Or
did
is
bring all my computer shit,
But is
right?
it in your backpack or is
No. It would have been it would have been in one of the barrels.
Okay, and so
And
you
also,
kind of
I
like
think I've-
nonchalantly like open up one of them and try and take something out. Yep.
Yeah, I think that. Well, no, I will just be mentally running through inventory. I don't think it is wise to actually be opening the barrels right now.
Mhm.
I have created a jammer before, but I think we blew it up. So I do not believe I actually have a jammer on me,
I think,
but I
yeah.
have the design specifications to do something about
Yeah,
that.
no, you and this is something like this is child's play. And it's not necessarily child's play.
I was
it-
going to say.
You would need to access these devices and either shut them down or turn them off in some way. What?
Oh,
Do you have an ability?
I do. I have a routine for this.
Yeah.
I think once per day I can use my brand new what is that, processing power? So once per day, I think I can just automatically succeed at a hacking task that is not blocked by another AI. Let me double check on that before we.
And so as you guys are conversing, the first officer comes back with you without papers and says, sorry, there seems to be a bit of a problem with the database here. Could you tell me just real quick your name, and you don't happen to have any psionic abilities or anything of the like that would require you to also be declared as a psychic on your identification?
I'm sorry, you mean like the disease?
Yeah. Yes, exactly right.
No, nothing of that sort.
I love this immediately different tone that Nona has never taken before.
You know how we call it the disease. You know, we've established that it's called the disease.
I was established in the previous episode.
Yes.
I saw it in a dream. Get off my back.
All right. So nothing of that sort. You don't have.
I'm pretty good at carrying barrels. Does that count?
No.
That's with my arms, though.
No. All right. No. That's all right. We're just having some trouble with the machine. So if you guys you can sit tight for a little bit and don't go anywhere. We'll give you your IDs back and probably let you guys go. And he looks down at his watch. Another 30 minutes or so. Just give us a sec. And he kind of goes back on his way.
Should we be worried? Are we in danger?
Oh no, you're not. You're perfectly fine. It's just we're in some cloud overview or over preventing us from communicating.
You're so safe. You're so good.
You're both safe and secure. You're fine.
So just hang tight.
I'm sorry. Clouds can interfere with your machinery?
Oh yeah, it's not a very powerful satellite dish. And so, sorry, I have to go. And it excuses himself from.
I hope he feels bad about his shitty hardware.
Sorry, I have to leave the blast radius.
So would Micah have reason to expect that a patrol like this would be able to like detect a psychic without seeing them be able to either recognize that Alix and I are somewhere there, or B, if I were gonna like turn on my telekinetic armory, which I would like to do otherwise, do I think that would like trip an alarm for them?
This is something that we have not gone over because they don't oftentimes go too far away from Principa. So this is your first time, or Ostea as a whole. So this would be the first time that you would expect you could possibly run into one. Okay. But Micah, you are aware of something called a Silence Inquisitor. There's different ranks within the Silence operatives, with the highest one being Inquisitors. For whatever reason or however they are able to do it, these are people, meta-scions, who have been enlisted into the ranks of the Silence operative and given a high level of authority. They are Inquisitors because they have the ability to visually and audibly detect when psionics is being used. Even if the user is hidden from them, they're able to locate them. You're also aware that just by looking at someone, they're able to identify whether or not someone has latent psychic abilities, whether that means they are a full-blown psychic or if they could at one point be a psychic. Okay,
so that's a no on the armory.
And also probably we should have told Claire that, but fine.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to know that going into this.
No, Micah probably was hoping this would be smoother sailing. And then when you communicate to us like more people are coming out, they're like, oh, shit, Claire, they might have like an Inquisitor. Okay, let's turn off the telepathy. No psionics, nothing at all.
Okay, yeah. And they also have the ability to, very similarly to that one psychic zombie that you ran in on Neo Opus, to use an ability called Psychic Static and effectively acts as a counter spell to the use of psionic abilities.
Jeff, your D&D is showing.
Yeah, that's
What? It's not quite a counter spell because
We've seen it. We
yeah.
remember.
All right, cool.
In the traumatizing one where all the guys fell on our heads.
Yes,
Yeah, we
it's
got
a
it. We got
rain
you.
and dead.
Yeah, well, hopefully I've never really known how like the meta psionic stuff works. I guess I'm mumbling this to myself now, but I hope that doesn't like do anything weird with Nona and her metadimensional stuff. Oh God! All
We're
right,
gonna find out.
we're gonna find out.
If you F with me, I'm gonna make arguments for why I should be a psychic in the future. Bullshit arguments, I'm sure, but I will try.
And so time passes, 5 minutes pass, and then 10 minutes pass, and you can't quite tell what's happening. In fact, you look above you, and it's a pretty clear day.
Yep.
Something seems off. That is what you get. And Dusty Smokey comes up next to you and is like, I don't like this. Don't like this one bit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to skedaddle. I need you to
Roll initiative.
as he
Dusty Smokey
digs
lies.
the shotgun into your back.
You son of a bitch.
Afraid.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted you.
He's a turncoat.
I loved you, Dusty Smokey.
And he says, what I'm going to need you to do is, if there's some, capacity to take out their dish, as well as take out that device that they are currently using to impede our path.
The net.
The
You want
net.
the
The
net.
net. The net. As he kind of like keeps things on the
Yeah,
down
sure.
low. This is I've smuggled a lot in my day. This doesn't smell good to me. I think they're trying to keep us around so that they can call in the cavalry. So I think we need a split
What do men
skedaddle.
on horses have to do with
vamoose.
anything?
I'm sorry.
What do men on horses have to do with anything?
Oh,
We are on the water. Horses will not help here.
right. Okay.
Not engaged with that at all.
He's like, oh, she's right.
Right,
What was
horses
I
won't help
talking
here.
about?
So can you handle one or both of those? If not, I can start, shooting at one of them to that would incapacitate them, I would assume.
I might actually be able to handle both if you give me a minute. Do you think these individuals would panic if I pulled out my laptop? It has been 10 to 15 minutes now.
No, that should be fine. As he kind of like shifts a little bit. Yeah. Let's do that.
And then Nona also just side eyes the barrel in which she has kept her giant ass sword that she can use to project ghosts that can slice things.
So
So those are our plans.
right. Here's you jam the satellite, knock down the device. They got us, moored to the side here, so we're going to need to cut that, and then I'm going to need to go immediately. Considering the fact they're on a grav vehicle, they probably have boats around here somewhere, such that if someone tried to do exactly what we're about to do, they can pursue. Once we start going, I think I yell hopscotch and we start blasting our way out. And at the very least, I know these rivers pretty darn well, better than most, I suspect. So I think I can lose them, but we might have some heat for a little bit, if you catch my drift.
So you wish to do the first part of this plan, just the two of us?
I suppose your friends could hop out and we could just start blasting right now.
I mean, it's if we want somebody to do the cutting while I do the hacking, and we could parallel process this. You see, parallel processing is a method by which one can do more.
I understand. How about you communicate with the barrels your friends are in? And I'm going to stand by the controls so I can go when the time comes. I've got my shotgun underneath the thing there. So, if things get hairy, I can, shoot swamp rats, on Dagobah.
You see
Slowly turning into Benoit Blanc.
Amazing.
I was gonna say, you see a little scrap of cloth like peek out from inside of one barrel that just has hopscotch question marks spelled on it.
And he kind of like looks at you and is like,
Let me actually. I'm gonna just casually sit down. I'm going to pull out my laptop and I'm going to prep that because I think hacking is going to take longer than the cutting the ropes and the nets will.
yeah.
So I think I'm gonna sit down. Who's the best shot? Who's not me?
Micah?
I'm a good shot if I can use my psychic gun.
I mean, it's a net, but I guess you could be blocked. We'll start with you, and then if you can't, you can use my sword. You want to use the sword?
I could give it a whirl. All right, are we like discussing this?
I'm going to say you can't really discuss it.
I mean,
Nona
so
can
here was
basically
my
talk
thought.
around a barrel.
Here was my thought. Yeah, I was going to sit down and just casually lean my back up against the barrel of the person that I thought and sort of be mumbling under my breath while I'm typing things and conveying this information. Be like, here's the deal. I think you should use the sword. It's over there.
Yeah, one knock for yes, two knocks for no.
Okay.
Cool.
And so, Nona, you take out your data slab and you're able to...
Black slab.
Oh, the black slab. Oh, right, because that makes hacking even easier.
Yep.
You take out your black slab and you are immediately able to identify the devices in the area. The one in particular is this kind of net device that is being pulled taut across the channel, is able to be linked into to release the net, kind of like make it go below the water so that it can be kind of traversed.
But they wanted me to hack the communications right now.
You can do both.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going.
One of them will need a roll.
Yeah, I would require rolls for both of them. If you're using your ability, you'd only have to roll for one of them.
That's right.
But in fact, you see that there is data going to and from that dish. So you're even more dubious of the fact of like what they're saying.
Oh, yeah. Like, we're going off of Captain Dusty Smokey's instincts right now. Nona has no instincts because she's less than 1 year old. So we are fully on board for this is going badly. We need to run. We are solving that problem now.
Okay.
Is there any way while hacking this, can I mimic a like everything is fine signal? Like, can I not only just shut this down? Can I like set up something that'll like force it to be like, we're cool?
The data itself seems to be encrypted. That would be a more, it is a lot easier to turn it off than it is to make a dummy.
Can I set up a loop where it just does whatever the like past 5 encrypted messages were over and over again?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Do that.
Okay. Which one of these? I will say of the two, that second one, the one with the dish itself, would probably be the harder one.
That was my thought as well, especially because I'm trying to mess with it fancily. So that's the one I would like to spend my, if it is not guarded by an AI. If it is guarded by an AI, we roll for it.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. And so you start typing away and you are able to jam the signal. You are in. How about we say
that?
And then
I want to like trigger all of the things to roughly go at the same time.
And then the second one, it is it's definitely a little bit easier to hack into, but I am going to need an int program check, please, which I know is your best thing. And so
if I only ever do the things I'm good at, that's iffy. Actually, 10.
That wasn't very good for you, huh?
Well, I got a 6 and a 1 on the die. I was a little bit worried about. It's average.
I mean, that is average. Yep.
It's average.
And you are able to access that device as well. You now have control over both of the things that Dusty Smokey pointed out.
I'm going to set up a quick little script to run to sort of basically sabotage both of those at the same time. And then look at Captain Dusty Smokey and also be talking right next to this barrel so we're aware of what's going on. Say, okay, we're ready to go on your mark.
Okay. And Dusty Smokey kind of just like nods his head and says, You want to say it? Or should I say it?
Oh, I think you should say it.
Hopscotch!
Hit the button. Fuck.
And
Unleash hell!
as soon as that happens, I don't know how fast Micah and Alix are. Claire kind of like peeks her head out with, you can see just like a gun that she has kind of to the side of it, like the mag pistol, and like, are we going now? And you notice that there's just a small commotion happening over by the vehicle where one of the silence operatives is leaning into the vehicle to look at some device or something like that, and seems to be like smacking it or something like that.
Percussive maintenance we discussed earlier today.
It seems like for whatever reason, they're focused a little bit more on the commotion that's happening within the vehicle itself right now, rather than the people starting to poke their heads out. Who is stepping up to slice off the ropes?
Yeah, Micah's jumping out immediately as soon as she hears hopscotch. I hate being stuck inside that barrel. I'm gonna, like, wheel around, like, okay, they're not shooting us. What are we doing?
Cut the rope or shoot it. Sword or gun, your choice.
All right. Wait, so is there a rope that's connected like to us, or just like this net is right in front of us?
In front of us, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't think we've been lassoed.
There's this net that is starting to lower based off of what Nona is doing. There is also you kind of are pulled up against the shore a little bit so that you don't float away down the river. So there's a rope holding you. Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
There's a rope kind of tied to the edge. I forget what the name of that is. Kind of like pulling you off to the side.
Sure.
So that is the rope to cut so that you can actually, drive away from the anchor point.
You could also just untie it.
You can if you want. It would require you untying something. Cutting it is faster, which is why I suggested it. But you can untie it as well if you'd like.
Okay.
Or shoot it.
Yeah, no,
or shoot it. Honestly, do what feels right to you, Micah.
Yeah, Micah's gonna use the telekinetic armory, and so instead of my traditional I-beam, I'm gonna take out a long sword made of my shimmering psychic energy, and I'm gonna try and cut that rope.
Micah, as soon as you step out and try to put on your telekinetic armor, you feel it start to shimmer around you in a almost a very comforting thing. Like this is almost like what your normal skin should feel like. And as soon as it starts to wrap around you, it just dissipates. And same as the sword that you are about to take out and swipe at this rope, you have been quote unquote psychic staticked. You can choose to commit effort, I think, for the day in order to override this. But whoever did this can also do a similar thing as well.
Yeah. So they're looking over here, like they saw me doing it, or this happened just kind of like passively?
This happened. Make a wisdom notice check for me, please. Okay. There is a commotion that's happening over the way.
That is 11.
You notice that all of the standard silence operatives, even the one that seems to have a higher rank than the others around him, seem to be focused more on the vehicle itself. But you see through the same shaded, tinted window, this figure in the driver's seat. And you see the outline, and you can almost feel their eyes directly on you. You obviously, for the purposes of this role, there's no way to know where this came from. But for the purposes of noticing someone who's looking at you, it seems like whoever's sitting in that driver's seat has got eyes on you, and you are familiar with silence operatives and an inquisitor. That is possibly one that's sitting there looking at you right now.
Yeah. I mean, if they were the one who were just doing the static on me, that's an intentional choice, right? So there's nothing secret here. I said, motherfucker, I'll flip them the bird. Shit. Okay. Yep. I guess I'll try and untie it.
Okay, so Micah, Nona, you notice this, and everyone else notices this since you're coming out of barrels. Micah goes to swing an imaginary sword down at this rope, and the shimmering kind of just dissipates as she goes to do it. She takes a look down at her hands and then takes a look over at the grav vehicle and starts hastily trying to untie the rope. Can I have...
Don't forget the middle finger.
How?
That part was very important.
The middle finger, which I don't actually think
you.
I've ever seen before, so that is very confusing.
All right, excellent.
How close is she to me?
Micah?
Yeah.
Probably only a couple of feet away.
Okay, so I could hand her something?
Yes.
Can I hand her my poison knife?
Oh, do you just have that on your person?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So you notice that she's like, fuck.
Still
And starts like trying to...
I'm like, no.
Here's the knife.
I left my knife back on the ship.
It was so
we talked
funny.
about it
We literally
immediately.
talked about this.
Yeah. All right. I will
You
use...
bastard man, Jeff.
I'll use your poison knife.
And as soon as you hand this off, you notice that there's no longer a commotion happening across the way. In fact, all of the silence operatives seem to have been almost barked to at attention and all have their eyes fastened on you. And then you also notice them look at you, look at the safety net that's not down, look at the satellite, and then look at you again.
Well, they don't know about the satellite yet. This was fun.
There was like,
Look at the satellite.
the satellite
There it is.
is. Look at it go across the sky.
Sorry,
There's
whatever.
Sputnik.
The source of all our problems.
Fuck you, Sputnik.
We flipped the bird.
And you notice that the driver's side door opens up and you see black boots start to step onto the floor. Micah, you are starting to hastily kind of like cut through the rope. What else are folks doing? Alix, are you doing anything in particular? Nona, are you doing anything in particular?
I mean, depending on like what systems I'm in of theirs, it could be fun to fuck with some shit. But otherwise, I think fighting could be cool.
Yeah. Make
Up
an
to you.
in-program check for me, please. This seems fun.
9.
As you're searching through the devices in the nearby area, you happen to see the vehicle itself. And you can't help but notice that on that vehicle is some form of heavy machinery. It doesn't really, you don't know, it's just like a hard point. You don't know exactly like what's loaded in it or anything like that.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
But if there's something that you want to do with that, you have identified that that is another thing that you can mess with.
So
you can
when you
also
say-
mess with the systems of the grav car itself, so it could not go.
Could we make it just go?
Oh.
Could we just make it go
Slam
when
the
they're
gas.
not expecting it to go?
Yeah.
Like when people hacked that one electrical powered car that one time and it
Yeah.
was bad.
But this time it's good for us.
This time, well, it's still going to be bad for the people inside the car, but we don't really care about them.
That's going to take a hot second.
I'm
so
fine with.
I'm going to let you, you're going to start to work on that. I'm going to ask for a roll a little bit later. Alix, are you doing anything in particular?
I want to grab the barrel that I came out of and I kind of want to spin it so that it provides a little bit of cover for Nona where she is. So like put it in between Nona and like the silence operatives in case like gunfire breaks out.
Yeah.
And then I will run over towards Micah. And if I can find like a long stick or something to like help push the boat off whenever the rope
Yeah.
is, or like, you know, start pushing off so that the rope is tight and like a little bit easier to cut or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you the rudimentary cover. It sounded like this what you were kind of making, like with the barrels placed in front of folks.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have you kind of, as you're moving to look for something, as that is, as Micah cuts off. Nona, let me get, Claire is going to get behind one of these barrels, kind of like kneeling down, probably next to you, Nona. And is like, Oh boy, here we go. Nona, can you make an int program check for me? And I want you, before you roll it, so I know what to set the difficulty at. What are you trying to do?
I think I would like to make the car just kind of go.
Okay. Yeah, that is... There's actually like a difficulty thing for hacking that I'm going to use. So, okay. All right.
Friend's opinion question. I got one more point to spend on this. How much of a crazy night are we intending to have?
Hopefully not that crazy, which means I could definitely try and fight the Inquisitor over stuff if we need to.
This is kind of like what the vibes I'm getting. Are we like gonna get there and turn in for the night, or are we getting there and we busting the McRaven out?
First, we got to get there. So I think whatever we need to do.
Then you know what? I'm gonna spend resources. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was looking at these. The check that you would probably do in order to do that would be somewhere in the range of like 13.
Yeah. I mean, even before knowing that, I think that's...
Yep, that sounds good. So
great.
you just do it.
I do that because I am a robot.
You are a robot. You see all of the possibilities warp in your mind.
There's math floating. It's a whole deal.
Yeah, you have your Rain Man moment.
Perfect.
And you're like, and go, as you press the button, and all of a sudden the vehicle lurches forward and starts speeding off down the canyon, closer and closer towards the water itself. But then it is over top of the water, which is fine because it's a grav car, but it does continue to carry. And you notice that as this happened, a figure rolled out of the driver's seat.
Okay.
So
now is there nobody in the car anymore?
There was actually probably one person in the car that was working on the device, the kind of like the systems that you hacked. And so he was kind of like leaning in through a window. And as it starts going, like his butt is just kind of like hanging out and kicking.
Okay, so he's still in there and he might end up in the water.
Yeah.
This is all I want.
You want him to end up in the water?
Either is still in the car or in the water. One of those two things.
Yes, he is.
Dealer's choice, really.
He is in the car, and you can see he doesn't quite know whether he wants to push himself out or push himself in as he is taking a moment. It starts to go over the water, and he decides to push himself in. You're not entirely sure what happens with the car after that. As it just continues to drive, it hits the side of the river wall and starts to just scrape up against, as you hear just like sparks and metal scratching against rock as it just goes into the distance. And so the few silence operatives that you see remaining, you see two ones of a fairly low rank, basically like privates or like the equivalent. You also see one that is a higher rank than them, a sergeant, likely their superior, and then another person who seems to be wearing less combat attire and closer to almost dress attire. They have like an officer hat, these black boots, and it's a very dark outfit. I can't describe clothes, but you think black with like silver accents, evil McEvil face, you know.
Got it.
Micah, you immediately recognize that is a uniform of an Inquisitor. As the rope is cut, you guys are starting to pull out and start to drive. One of the silence operatives starts to run towards the device itself, trying to tap in to pull up the net once more. But Nona, you have quite and thoroughly suppressed that system. It's not going to be able to be activated again, probably for another couple of minutes at the very least. Likely closer to maybe like 30 minutes to an hour to get sorted through what you were able to do with it. And as you start to pull away, you see that the Inquisitor is just kind of staring at you all. It's a dark-skinned man, clean-shaven, but with these piercing gold eyes, just kind of watching you as you go away, not even reaching for the gun that sits on his belt, just studying you as you continue on. But you do notice that the last two silence operatives start to take up positions and kneel and pull out their rifles. Are you guys going to exchange fire, or are you just going to like hide behind barrels?
A little bit of both.
All right.
Little column A, little column B.
So-
I'm going to follow Alix's lead on this one.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, you guys pull away, there's probably a couple of pot shots that are able to be taken. I'm gonna give you guys probably soft cover. You guys aren't like in a pillbox or like behind prepared firing positions, but I'll give you like +2 to your AC.
Okay.
2 of them are going to fire at you guys. 1 at you, Micah, and then because they don't know any better, and then 1 at probably Nona because they were the ones.
I believe I'm still sitting behind a barrel, but
Fair enough. Then, I could do Captain Dusty Smokey, who
That's
is
right.
driving. Yeah, you know what? One's going to shoot at you, Micah, and one's going to shoot at.
yep.
If they're squaring up
That's
to
what's
shoot
up.
at us, can I try and activate my armory again? If I'm going to return fire, is this like
Yes.
if it's like their initiative turn or something, that's fine. But
Yeah. I was just going to
Yeah.
do like a quick pot shot because you're going to drive away before they would have the opportunity to fire again. But you may absolutely, because that's like an on turn.
it's an on
thing.
turn, yeah.
Yeah. So you once again try to put your telekinetic armory around you just to give you a little bit more extra cover. And once more, and you can almost see the flash behind their eyes, their golden eyes, as they just continue to stare you down and prevent you once more from activating your telekinetic armory.
Yep. I hate that shit. I'm going to try and double down and force through it.
Okay. So that was 2 attempts. So that is 2 system strain that I think is spent for the day, right?
Effort. And I let the
Effort.
first one go. Does it automatically steal an effort from me if I let the first one go?
I think let me actually check on that, but I believe it is lost no matter what.
But you
'Cause
didn't
normally-
try and double down.
Yeah, because normally it's just spent until I reclaim it. So does the act of the psychic static take that away from me for the whole day also?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, depends on the wording of it, right? Because if it is like it returns to you on reclaim, you didn't reclaim it,
Yeah, it was
right?
taken
It
from
was,
you.
it was
True.
taken.
Yeah, I think responsible for the effect must commit effort for the day as an instant action to resist the negation. Otherwise, the power ends and any action used to trigger it is wasted, which implies to me the effort that you expended to try and use it is wasted as well.
Okay.
Action is different from effort. Action means specifically main action, on turn action.
It is, but like committing effort
It's
for
part
as
of
long,
action.
yeah.
Sure. But would we say then at least, like, if that's effort I would normally, well, is it lost for the whole day? Is it for the scene? If like I wasn't fighting back over that one?
I'm going to say it's for the scene.
Okay, fair enough.
So this would be a total of 3 then for the scene.
Yes.
Because there was the first one that got shut off. There was the second one that got shut off. And now we're doubling down. So that's
Yep.
the third one.
So this is the third one that you're committing for the scene, possibly. Well, actually, the extra ones that you are committing are for the day.
Yeah.
So this extra one is for the day. Once more, you feel cut off from your abilities as you reach out for them, as you try and shift your pathways in such a way that the metadimensional energy flows around you. And once more, you feel it stopped. So that'd be 4 effort on their part and would require another effort on your part committed for the day.
So I'm 2 for scene, 1 for day so far.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, I'm doing another one.
Okay.
I want to run him dry.
Give me my gun.
Yeah, I mean, the more you can get him to do this, the less
Mhm.
likely he can do other things.
Yep, and
What-
I'm pretty thick. We'll
What
see.
is I assume you're just going to keep going until
I'm going to keep going. I
Yep.
have 6.
Yep. After the 5th suppression, you push through with your final 6th, and you feel that connection once more as it starts to wrap your body in your telekinetic armory and giving you, I assume, the rifle for you to take some shots
That's
at
the rifle.
folks.
Yep, I want to shoot right at them.
And you don't need a check to notice that the Inquisitor just ever so slightly frowns at that. But you are able to take your shots. I'm just going to do it in kind of volleys. So I'm going to do both of them first, and then all of you guys who want to take a shot can. So this first one's at Micah. Micah does a 18 hit.
18's my armor class, so yeah.
Okay.
With +2 from cover.
Oh, not counting cover, so no.
That does not hit. And then for Captain Dusty Smokey, who I'm not giving cover because he needs to
He's
poke his
driving.
head out as he drives.
He's like, we got away. We did.
Here we go. Pot shot right to the face. Oh boy. So you see another shot ring out. This one focused at the driver of your vehicle, Captain Dusty Smokey, and you see it hit him squarely in the chest. But Captain Dusty Smokey is crazy, but not stupid, as it seems that he is wearing some form of body armor, and the shot just takes him, knocks him out, and says, "Ooh, buddy," as he gets back up and starts driving away. Do you guys want to take some shots as well?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Some fun little passing
why not?
shots. Claire is going to just, she's going to poke her head out, line up a shot, and then just kind of hold it there. And then as you guys start to drive away, pull it up. But who else is firing?
Suppressing fire.
Suppressing
I
fire?
think that's the idea, is like not necessarily trying to murder people, but
Mike, are you trying to murder
Probably
someone?
trying to
I
murder
feel like
someone.
Mike is trying to murder someone.
I want to hit that one, the
Actually-
Inquisitor.
the Inquisitor.
do we
Yes.
have time to talk? Like, can I shout something to Claire real fast?
Sure, it's a bit of a commotion, but yeah.
I just want to, Claire, don't forget the.
You see her kind of like take a look at you and not quite understand, and then go, "Oh," and look over at the Inquisitor, and then you see like the whoop, 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 as she puts her hands to her temples, which she doesn't need to do, but she
That's right.
feels like it feels
You know
right to
what?
her.
I summoned thee.
Yeah, let's see actually how this guy does.
Just because she seems like she really doesn't want to be shooting people, and that seems to be a thing that we.
You see that happen, and this man, this dark-skinned, golden-eye man, looks over at her and just kind of like shakes his head as he made the save.
Okay.
Alix is just trying to shoot at people so that they try and take cover and not try and hit people. So suppressing fire. Mike is actually trying to kill a bitch. Which bitch you trying to kill?
Damn right, guess. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
25 does hit.
All right. And we are looking at 6 damage.
Okay. And once more, you take a shot at this individual, and they get hit, square in the chest. You see them stumble for half a second and then kind of look up at you, and just there's a fire behind those eyes as you kind of drive away.
We're close enough to like make out facial expressions.
It's getting harder and harder as you pull away, but yeah, you can definitely see that there is a grimace and a frown there.
Alix has his binoculars out.
Look how angry he
He
is.
looks unhappy.
Yeah.
He has really nice skin.
I make a face at him before we pass out of eye shot.
Another rude gesture, I assume.
Yeah, just stick out my tongue and like wrinkle my nose like, hey, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, let's piss him off.
That's the plan.
I know.
One eyebrow is up. I repeat, one eyebrow is up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
He's scratching his head. He seems to be confused.
He's just maybe a little itchy. Mission accomplished.
Good job, Claire.
And so you guys start to speed away down this river. Actually, probably up this river, since down the river would be back towards the bay where you came from. Anyway, and as you start to drive, you hear a hum in the distance. And you pass a few different tributaries, like these little offshoots that go off every which way. And as you are speeding towards you assume the source of this particular river, you are met with 2 speedboats on either side of you that start to pull in closer and closer. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
All
With
right.
the boat chase.
All right. And to get the missile launcher.
We didn't pack the missile launcher. We need a vehicle to put it on.
That'll teach you for not bringing the missile
Literally,
launcher.
there is no way to bring the missile launcher.
No, it's attached to a car.
It's
isn't it?
attached to a car, and you said we couldn't bring the car. This is not a we forgot to pack it. There was no room left in the suitcase.
Leave the launcher, take the missile.
That's right.
And we'll just toss them over the edge.
All I'm thinking of right now is like all of you guys hitting this character and then just killing him outright as he tries to stand and make a point.
He's like, man, I'm just standing out here in the open. I was just trying to make a point. You're not supposed to fight me.
I was trying to look cool. I kind of got